Hello friends, fasting is very important in a life of a person or life of anyone. Daniel 10 verse 3 says, I ate no choice food, no meat or wine touched my lips, and I used no lotions at all until the 3 weeks were over. Daniel used to fast. He was called a man of prayer. Esther chapter 4 verse 16 we see Esther calls for a fast. She says to all her people, Go, gather together all the Jews who are in Susa, and fast for me. Do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day. I and my attendants will fast as you do. When this is done, I will go to the king, even though it is against the law. And if I perish, I perish. Fasting is a time when we are in oneness with God Almighty, when we sit with our Bibles, when we sit with worship in our lips, and when we forsake the food, our daily bread and water, but we look up above where our help comes from. Yes, that is why Esther was able to say boldly, If I perish, I perish, but I will go to the king and plead for my people, weep for my people to be saved. And yes, her fasting and the fasting of her people brought deliverance from God, for all the Jews were saved because of the fasting. Exodus chapter 34 verse 28 we see Moses, the leader of people of Israel, fasting. Moses was there with the Lord 40 days and 40 nights without eating bread or drinking water. And he wrote on the tablets the words of the covenant, the 10 commandments. The 10 commandments Moses received when in fasting time. Yes, friends, the 10 commandments teach everyone to love God first, give first place to God, and love our neighbor as we love ourselves. It's such important part of our daily lives. Joel 2 is a verse 12 is a powerful fasting verses. Even now declares the Lord, return to me with all your heart, with fasting and weeping and mourning. Rend your heart and not your garments. Return to the Lord your God, for he is gracious and compassionate, slow to anger and abounding in love, and he relents from sending calamity. When we fast like this, when God is calling everyone in our country, in the world, that please return to me with all your heart, leave all your wrong company, leave all your wicked habits. Give me your heart and do not rend your garments. God is gracious and compassionate, so we should look up to him in fasting and prayer.